Hello everyone, we are the Couch Potatoes, and I'm Vic.
And I'm Sin. Let's cut the BS. We all know why you're here.
Was Sonic X Shadow Generations everything we hoped for?
Oh, hell yeah, it is!
We are so damn back! The Sonic cycle is totally over!
At least we hope so. But all this is to say, yeah, the game is pretty damn good.
It delivered on all fronts. From what started as a seemingly small add-on to Sonic Generations, after completing the game, it's become crystal clear that Shadow Generations is its own thing entirely.
It's around the same length as Sonic Generations, and oh shit, yeah, it comes with Sonic Generations packed in!
And really, what more could you ask for? Like really? Gamespot, what more could you have wanted? But for this video, we will be discussing general aspects of the game to avoid spoilers. So no worries, we won't get into anything that hasn't been shown yet, which is why we'll be using only promotional footage. We will go more in depth in a different video at a later time, so subscribe. But for now, let's just get right into it.
And starting with the level selection, it has been outstanding to say the least. Even the Sonic Forces level was great.
Personally, I've been having a lot of fun going through Rail Canyon. Rail grinding hasn't felt this good since Sonic Unleashed.
Honestly, the Westopolis portion with its constantly shifting mirror dimension stuff legitimately left me speechless. And the new Black Arms enemies we get to fight this time around has been hella fun.
The levels are the best of both worlds, and they have seamlessly blended both boost and adventure gameplay styles together, all while having an identity all its own.
Shadow's abilities have only been played with to a minimal degree in past entries. Now moves like Chaos Spear, Control, and Snap have all seen substantial upgrades and use cases.
In the past, Chaos Control was only used to cheese through levels in Shadow the Hedgehog or to screw over your sibling in battle.
Dude, no way!
Mastering the Chaos Control enables speedier run-throughs and levels, and if you're not a fan of it, it is possible to get through them if you're good enough.
So yeah. Get good! Initially, I thought the Chaos Snap would take away from the flow of movement the homing attack offers, but would you be surprised if I said it actually felt rather snappy?
Before, using the Chaos Spear felt rather trivial, like there was no real justification to use it over a homing attack or combo attack. Now it feels especially juiced up, specifically due to moments in the game encouraging its use as seen in the Bio-Lizard boss fight.
The game really makes you feel like Shadow the Hedgehog. And this brings us to Shadow's Doom abilities. With these new combat and traversal techniques, you truly get to understand the exaggerated swagger of a Black Arms creature. Joking aside, these Doom abilities are a definite highlight of Shadow's moveset.
When we first saw Shadow take wing, my mind was blown. He not only looks sick as hell, but flying as Shadow has never felt so good. It's clear that Sega has always wanted to do something different with Shadow. Whether it was a car or a hang glider, a car, guns, teleportation, or a car. Seriously, why do they keep putting my man in cars? You get the point. Shadow has tried to differentiate himself for years to varying success. But Shadow Generations nails this balance and gives perfect reasoning behind it with the Doom abilities. The Doom Blast is probably the only Doom ability I'm not the hottest on because it takes away from the speed of a level at times, but it is great in combat arenas.
Speaking of fights, the boss fights in this game have legitimately been exploding my brain cells. I used to think that Sonic Frontiers had the best boss fights in the entire series, but Shadow Generations has surpassed all of my expectations. From Metal Overlord to Mephiles, Black Doom, and more, I am just completely stunned. Shadow is fighting some of the final bosses from previous games in his base form, similar to how Sonic did. But not gonna lie, the foe's shadow faces are much more impressive. I just gotta be honest about that.
And don't worry, we won't spoil anything, but let's just say some of the bosses and levels that have yet to be seen have been some of the best parts of the game, which is shocking because I thought they already showed off the game's best elements throughout the month.
That finally brings us to our last topic of discussion, the story content. It was already revealed that Maria and Gerald were brought back. We won't get into it in this video, but let me just tell you guys, my eyes started sweating a lot. Like a lot. I was crying so much that I had to pause the game because I was missing stuff. We'll go more into detail on the story for another video, and talk about the other elements as well. But for now, I think it's time to wrap it up. Any final thoughts, Vic?
Well, we haven't touched on the Sonic Generation side of things, and one thing of note was that the game was partially rewritten by Ian Flynn. And yeah, not much at all has really changed. There is some connective tissue in the story now, but Sonic Generations is Sonic Generations at the end of the day here. Which definitely explains the totally fair 6 out of 10 review GameSpot gave the game. Wow. I don't see them giving that review for Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, but GameSpot has never really been that respectful. I mean, like, it's at the bottom of the list is IGN, and below IGN, you got GameSpot. Like, there's not a worse reviewer company out there.
They been hating.
Though replaying the game with the new skins has given the game a second wind of sorts.
I am the wind and the wind.
I was singing the Sonic Frontiers theme.
I know you were. I was interrupting.
We really ought to get into Generations modding, because after having this much fun with these silly little skins, imagine how much more fun we would have with all the new wackier skins where you could play as literal Gerald Robotnik as Sonic in these games.
But what about the gun commander?
Well, dude, if someone does a playable Gun Commander mod for Sonic Generations, that will be the only way I play Sonic Generations. Believe me.
This freaking guy. Oh my god. Alright guys, I think it's time to go. But let us know your thoughts below. Is the game a 10 out of 10? Or the much more fair 6 out of 10?
And if you liked this vid, then consider subscribing, because we got a lot more content underway.
Please.
But that's all for now. See you next time.
Bye.